Kids. Hey, Kool-Aid and frozen pizza. It's a work of art, I ain't talking Mona Lisa. Dream of rocking crowds, see me filling up arenas. This weed got me laughing like a damn hyena. Yeah, I live a life pretty similar to yours. Used to go to school, hang with friends and play sports. Every single summer taking trips to the shore. And that was all gravy, but I knew I wanted more. Ain't ever seen a young rapper like one. Can't believe they ass, swear it's just a mirage. Still got my training wheels in the garage, but I ain't gonna need those, I'ma go hard. So far, I've done pretty well for myself. Couple trophies on the shelf, so what else could I want that I don't have yet? Well, a little more cash in my own fast jet, so I can go anywhere. Cali for the kush, cause boy, I know there's plenty there. About to be in music stores everywhere.
What's up, everybody? This is Brady. Welcome back to the Low Life Podcast. I'm your host, and let's just get into it this week. So, if you're a fan and you recognize this song playing, then you know who it is. You know what it is. It's Mac Miller. Old school jam back in the day. And I'll be honest, I was never really a huge Mac Miller fan. I remember hearing his Kids album back in like 2011, maybe even before that album was out. My older stepbrother showed it to me, and I really dug it. I thought it was really cool, and I thought he was really different. And it's just kind of crazy to see how he blew up over time. And over time, I wasn't into his newer stuff. He was still good, and I never really like super followed his career. I saw him, when he was dating Ariana Grande or when he was on TV for, appearances or whatever. But when I heard about his death, it honestly really shocked me. I was like, "What, Mac Miller? Like what?" It's just really crazy, and it really sucks to keep losing these really young, super talented, successful artists to just dumb shit, man. Like drugs are no fucking joke, and it really sucks. And there's something else I didn't even touch on last week, or maybe the week before. It could have been like 2 weeks now, but Kyle Pavone, the vocalist of another popular band called We Came as Romans, also died. And he was about the same age as Mac Miller, and he died like from the same thing, Mac Miller. They both died of overdoses, and it just really sucks to keep using these really young, great artists to just shit, man. I wish people would reach out and help and get help or talk about it or something, it just sucks. But yeah, anyway, sorry to kind of talk, start on a bad note, I guess. But Mac Miller was really dope. He was a really good artist. It sucks to see him go like that. But figured I'd kind of pay tribute to him, throw a little bit of throwback jam at the beginning. So, rest in peace. And we're also rest in peace to Kyle Pavone too, man. We Came as Romans was one of my favorite bands when I first got into metalcore. Like I had their posters on my wall, and I saw them at Warped Tour, and I'm actually going to see them here in a couple of weeks with Bullet for My Valentine when I go see them with my dad. So, which I totally even forgot that I was supposed to see them, and then 2-3 weeks before I'm supposed to see them, their singer dies. So it's kind of crazy. I didn't even think about it till today. So it's kind of crazy. But so in honor of both of those artists, both of those people, singers, those are gonna be my throwback jams for this week. So We Came as Romans, To Plant a Seed is gonna be my throwback album. If you've never listened to that album and you like metalcore or you like heavy stuff, that was, I believe, their first full-length album, To Plant a Seed. And, ah, man, that album, it was like one of the first albums that was like singing and screaming at the same time that I listened to, but it had piano in it, like this really pretty background piano orchestral style, like backing tracks to their music that I just thought was just so beautiful, and it was just this super amazing mix of like pretty and heavy and angry and melodic all together. It was just really awesome. I'm definitely gonna re-download this album and give it, just give it some time and listen to it again because I really miss it and I really forgot how amazing this band really is. They're just really good and they're still touring. Like I said, they're on tour with fucking Bullet for My Valentine right now. So that's one of my throwback albums, and then obviously my other one's gonna be Mac Miller. Not him. He's one person. His Kids EP. It's kind of hard to find. It's not on iTunes or anything. It came out back in 2011. So Kool-Aid and Frozen Pizza is the song that I played at the beginning. It's one of his first songs I ever heard from him. And then he has a song called Nike's on My Feet. That's like the second song I ever heard from him. And then I think he even has a song that wasn't on there that I first heard as I'm trying to remember. I think it's Today's a Good Day or something like that. I'd have to go double check that, but oh no, Best Day Ever. That was like his first big single. It wasn't even on this album, but Kids by him is just so good. It's his like first real big, break, and just it's just so different and it's so chill and he just keeps it real and he doesn't I don't know, he just didn't brag about whack shit really or anything. It was just he's a really good artist and so definitely check that album out, Kids by Mac Miller. And on to so we're gonna do new jams, current jams. So I don't have a ton this week, but there is a band I really like called My Ticket Home. Now they've been a band for a long time. They've put out a lot of like their first two, three albums were very like traditional, like post-hardcore, metalcore albums where there was breakdowns, singing, screaming. But in 2013, they put out an album called Strangers Only that was just as far from what they used to play as like they could get almost. Like it was just straight heavy, just angry, like grunge metal, just like it just seemed like came from a place of anger, but like it was so amazing. It's one of my like, probably top 10 favorite albums. This album is so good. So this is not the new jam, but this is me building up to their new jam. So 2013, that album, they called it like puke rock, like it was just angry, like grungy, just gritty, just really good. And then this year, or last a little at the end of last year, they put out another album. So that's like there's like 4 years in between these albums, which is kind of crazy that it took them that long to put out this album. But this album, 2017, it's called Unreal by them, and it's got like the same vibes and tones as the last one, but it's not as heavy. He doesn't scream as much. I dig it. It's really good, but it's not my favorite. I think their last album was way better, just in my opinion and my style and taste of music. This album is really good, but the what I have this kind of like I've kind of have this issue because like there's a lot of bands doing this sound, what this album sounds like, and I know you're like, oh, but is it really? But it is. There's a lot of like new metalcore bands, rock, post-hardcore bands doing this like dark, just kind of dark melodic sounds and like I don't know. I've just heard it before. I've heard some other bands do this kind of similar thing and like there's a lot of bands that are used to be heavy that aren't heavy anymore, kind of doing the same thing. Like this band and like Moss to Flames has done kind of the similar thing, and like you could even compare it to almost Bring Me the Horizon, which I think their new stuff is really good, but it all kind of like sounds the same. It's like soft, heavy, Not as screamy, no breakdowns. I don't know. This new album, My Ticket Home, is really good, and I say check it out. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's pretty good. I think it would be a good intro into their music to go back and then maybe listen to some of their heavier stuff. I really like the artwork for this album. It's really different, really unique, and I just yeah, go check it out. Unreal by My Ticket Home, and that's the only new jams I have for this week. So yeah, check it out. Anyway, that's all the music news I have for this week. I didn't really have any shows or any car meets to talk about upcoming. Everything that I've told you still upcoming. Stance meet this weekend was a lot of fun. Got to see some homies, got to hang out, enjoy the nice weather, see some cars I haven't seen before, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, that was pretty fun. Didn't really do a whole lot else. Got some new tires put on my daily on the back of it. I haven't really been needing to replace those tires. And that was my weekend, man. I was just hanging out, just chilling. But was kind of thinking about something last week, and I don't know if I haven't really talked about what I do for a living, but I drive. I'm a delivery driver, so that's what I do all day. I drive around all day, pretty much, and for a auto parts store. And I drive around the town that I live in, and I've kind of noticed something that there are a lot of young kids or kids in high school with Mustangs, and you're like, uh-oh, Mustangs, where's this going? And yes, this is going to be like my main conversation this week is Mustangs. And I've noticed that like every kid, almost every person who has a Mustang, it doesn't matter what year that it is in the town that I live in, they all have modified exhaust. They all are like the loudest thing possible, and as much as I love modified cars and exhaust and stuff, that's like the only thing they all have done is exhaust. I don't even, and I'm not a Mustang hater. My mom has had three Mustangs since I've been alive. Like, I love her car. Her Mustang, she has a 2010. I love it. It's a great car. And I would honestly drive one if somebody gave one to me, but like, the whole Mustang thing, man, they've got such a bad rap, but I 100% understand why. Like, I just they're cheap and they're affordable and they're easy to get your hands on. They're easy to mod, and that's why they have such a bad rap is because all these young kids who can get them pretty easily have a pretty high horsepower rear-wheel drive car that they don't know how to drive, and because they don't know how to drive it, they spin out trying to show off or trying to race, or that's why they wreck all the time because all these dumb kids who don't know what they're doing show off leaving cars and coffee, and then they hit a bunch of people because they don't know what they're doing. And in the end, that's really why they get a bad rap, is because they're really easily obtainable, and that's really it. I mean, they're easy to mod. They make a lot of power right off the door, and you can get them to a lot more power really easily. But there's something about the mentality of Mustang owners that think they are the coolest fucking people on earth. And I've met some that aren't. I've met some that are really chill. I have a friend named Austin who has an SVT Cobra that's like lowered, and he's like one of the least, like, he's such a nice kid, such a nice dude, so wholesome and friendly, and like supports the stance scene, supports the bagged car scene, so supports muscle cars. He likes everything, and he's one of the few Mustang kids that I've met that doesn't annoy the living shit out of me. So there are some good ones out there, but most of these kids just think I've got a Mustang, I'm better than you. I mean, I'm eating at CC's in my town where I live, just sitting there, and this kid parks his Mustang right in front of like the store and then just starts revving it. And I'm like, nobody wants to hear you. You're in a parking lot of like a business. What's wrong with you? And then he like waiting for his friend who, of course, also has a Mustang, pulls up and parks next to him. And I'm just like, I just don't get it. Why did you think that everybody else wanted to hear you rev your V6 convertible Mustang in the parking lot? It's just this weird, weird, weird weird thing that I don't super understand. I mean, Mustangs have been around. They are like the longest made muscle car. Like they're the one of the only like original pony cars that never went out of production. They have been consistently making the Mustang since 1964 slash 65. Like, and they've literally never stopped making it from then until now. So like it's one of the most popular cars in existence. I mean, you can't talk to anybody, even non-car people, and they know what a Mustang is. Hell, I've talked to non-car people who know the typical like crowd killer Mustang jokes. It's one of the most popular cars in I don't know, maybe the world, but definitely America, and for good reason. I mean, it's a really good car. It's affordable. It's good looking. It makes a lot of power. They're reliable. I mean, you don't ever hear stuff about people's Mustangs breaking down. You just hear about people wrecking them. People make them into insane drag cars. There's a lot of people in the drift community turning to them, like turning old late 90s models into drift cars now. Like they just have so many uses. They're so versatile. They're a really incredible car. It just sucks that so many dumb kids get a hold of them and now they have a bad rap. I mean, this whole crowd killer joke has been a joke for like what 3 or 4 years, and people still say it on a daily basis. Hell, in my town today, while on a delivery, I saw a Mustang which on the front of his bumper said "Insert crowd here." And I mean, it's just crazy. Like I don't, man, Mustangs are crazy to me. The whole stigma that they have is like unfortunate, but also really funny, and it's just weird. It's not like I want them to be expensive so stupid people don't get them. Don't get me wrong. It's just I wish high school kids weren't stupid sometimes, I guess. I don't know, man. Mustangs are crazy. I mean, my mom had like an 87 like hatchback when I was a kid, and I barely remember, but it was like maroon, dark purpley, and it was a cool car. So Mustangs have always kind of been a part of my life, but and I don't have anything but respect for them and stuff. But I think it's more the people than the car, because so many people are like, oh, Mustangs, look out! But really, it's just just the owners. But anyway, that's enough of a rant for rant on Mustangs for this week, I think. But other than that, there's not a whole lot going on in my world or car world. That like I said, that Monday meet that's September 17th at 7 p.m. is coming up. That's really the only thing I have. Bullet for My Valentine, Thursday, September 20th. I will be there. It's Bullet for My Valentine. We Came as Romans, and I believe Bad Omens, which I don't know a super ton about that band. But I will be going to that. Gonna be taking my dad for his birthday. Should be a lot of fun. Um, I've been wanting to see Bullet since I was in like seventh grade, and this is my first time. So I'm really excited. And I remember showing my dad Bullet when I was like maybe a freshman, and he was super into them. So it's super cool that we get to see them together. Haven't seen We Came as Romans in a really long time, probably since like 2012 or maybe 2013 at Warp Tour. So that's super cool. I haven't seen Bad Omens before, but definitely looking forward to that. And let's see, any other shows, any other car meets coming up? Dojo Showcase #1 that I talked about a couple of podcasts ago. That's October 6th, Saturday, 6 p.m. That's going to be a lot of fun. I actually just remembered that I probably won't be able to be at that show, unfortunately, because that same weekend I am going to Dallas, Texas to see another show with my girlfriend, and we'll be gone for a couple of days. So I actually probably won't be at that, but if you're from Oklahoma City, definitely, 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 if you like heavy music or have never been to a show before, go to the Dojo Showcase. It's gonna be crazy. Um, Here's another show just going through my events. If you're like radio, indie, alternative rock. The Arctic Monkeys are going to be here in Oklahoma City at the Criterion on October 10th. That's pretty cool. They're pretty big band. I've never super been into them, but I've heard of them forever. I think, yeah, so that if you like them, go see them. Emarosa will be here in November, and so that's really it for shows. Probably just gonna be a shorter podcast this week. Don't have as much to talk about as normal. Didn't have a ton of shows or meets or anything. Just really wanted to talk about that Mustang thing because man, it's just funny to me. But like I said, rest in peace to Mac Miller. Rest in peace to Kyle Pavone. We Came as Romans. If you get a chance, go see them on tour. Support them. They're a super good band. Go jam their albums. All of their albums are so good. Go listen to Mac Miller. All of his stuff is good. But anyway, thank you for listening. This has been the Low Life Podcast. I'm Brady. Peace.